Hello and good afternoon, fellow tankers. I'm Commander Denalii, and I know this video is a little bit late. I told you I was going to try to do it by Monday. Unfortunately, I was just unable to do that. But anyway, yeah, let's get into it. This is the Nameless. This is the Japanese Tier 8 premium tank with the anime crew that just came out. As you can see, this is a very large profile tank. It's tall, and those gaps right there that you see between the track and the skirt are a very, very noticeable weak point in this vehicle. So you got to be careful exposing your side. I'll get into that a little bit more here in just a little bit. But for now, let's take a look at the stats on this thing. This thing has a 570 horsepower engine, and it has a power-to-weight ratio of 16.78 horsepower per ton. And when you're going forward in this thing, you can go up to 50 kilometers per hour, and in reverse, you can go 14 kilometers per hour. If you get shot in the engine, you do got a 10% chance of getting caught on fire. Now, even though the model says that the engine is all in the back, I have had issues where I get shot in the front drive wheel or in the front lower plate, get pinned, and my engine does get taken out. So just be aware that that can happen. The gun on this is an 88mm gun. It has a reload time of 9 seconds. That's standard before you add any equipment or crew skills. Aiming time of 2.3 seconds and accuracy of 0.37. The gun elevation is 15 degrees, which isn't great, and the depression is only 5 degrees, and that 5 degrees is not over the front, it's only over the sides and over the rear. So, you know, sometimes you got to angle your tank kind of funny to get that gun depression. So the rotation speed of the hull is 26 degrees per second, and the terrain resistances are not bad on this for being a heavy tank. It's 1.0 for hard ground, 1.2 for medium ground, and 2.3 for soft ground. So this tank can, you know, move around fairly well. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it yet. The turret on this has a base view range of 370 meters, and the turret can rotate at 26 degrees per second. So as long as you're, you know, not getting circled by a really quick medium or light tank, you know, you can move the hull and the turret on this fairly well and, you know, take out those threats. The signal range on the radio on this is 750 meters, so you won't have any issues with, you know, having targets that are spotted and being able to see them. As far as your ammunition goes, your standard ammunition has a minimum penetration of 165 millimeters and a maximum penetration of a whopping 275 millimeters. And that's huge. I mean, it's great. The damage on it has a minimum of 225 damage and a maximum of 375 damage. So your average damage is 300. When you switch to your premium shells, which are APCR shells, your minimum penetration goes from 165 to 195. Your maximum penetration goes from 275 to 325 millimeters of penetration. Damage, of course, remains the same. And just in case I didn't mention it, your standard round has a shell velocity of 900 meters a second, and your premium has 1100 meters a second shell velocity. And as far as the HE rounds go, I haven't got to use a whole lot of these, but the penetration is between 33 and 55 millimeters, and your damage is 270 on the low side and 450 on the high side. A splash radius of 1.4 meters, and the shell velocity is 900 meters a second. And then, of course, you've got your standardized crew members in this. This does have a 5-person crew, you know, driver, loader, gunner, radio, and commander. Anyway, let's take a look at the armor on this now. The minimum armor on this tank is 20 millimeters. So as you can see here, that's only that back panel there. And it is slightly angled, so you know, it's approximately 30 degrees effectively. And then your turret ring underneath is somewhere between 21 and 30 millimeters thick right there. That's the flat part of the upper part of your hull underneath your turret. And then 31 to 50 millimeters is going to be your gun, your tracks, the remaining portion of your upper hull, the upper part of your turret, the upper part of your commander's hatch, and your belly plate. So yeah, as you can see, it's a lot of areas there. Then 51 to 70 millimeters, there's that strip in front of the turret on top of the hull, and then the top front part of the turret. And that's very, very well angled, so it's gonna not have any issues there bouncing around. 71 to 90 millimeters is inside your tracks. Also, the armor on the side of the tank above the tracks, the rear of the turret, the rear of the hull, and part of the gun mantle. Then 91 to 120 millimeters is their lower plate, the sides of the rear of your turret, and more of your gun mantle. And then 121 to 160 is the rest of the sides of your turret, the rear of your commander's hatch, and part of your upper plate. Now this armor starts getting weird. You'll notice on the upper plate that top portion there is 121 to 160, but when we go to the 160, 190 right here, it's part of the lower part of the upper plate as well. So it's like, because of how curved this armor is, it's just kind of overlaps and gives you really good frontal armor. Commander's hatch is also between 160 190, but it's considered a weak point. Of course, 191 to 230 is going to be gun mantle, and then also where that lower plate meets that upper plate on the front, and part of your turret ring facing forward as well. And then the rest of the armor, of course, is the gun barrel, you know, where it meets the turret, at 250 millimeters of protection. So there you go, having a look at the armor. Frontally, this thing is just solid. It's a beast. The couple places you need to worry about facing the front is going to be the commander's hatch, and then if they get a little bit of an angle on you, they can shoot you through your front drive wheel and penetrate the side of your hull. Other than that, I mean, if the enemy loads premium rounds, they can go through your lower plate as well. So as far as supplies go on this, I run 38 standard rounds, 20 APCR rounds, and 10 HE rounds. I run a small repair kit, a small first aid kit, and an automatic fire extinguisher, because I have been hitting the engine a lot. Unfortunately for me, I haven't caught fire too much. I think I've caught it on fire twice, which isn't that bad. Of course, I've got the large caliber tank gun rammer to reduce the loading time, coated optics to increase the view range by 10%, and vertical stabilizers to increase accuracy on the move. You can, of course, change one of these to vents if you like, you know, once you get some crew skills. And when I do that, I will take the gun rammer off and put the vents in that spot. But yeah, as I said, this tank looks fantastic. I love just how the metal, it looks just wicked. But anyway, let's get into our first match. Our first match here is rittenberg, war variant of this map. And yeah, I think this was probably about 15 or 20 games in, I got this match. It's a tier 9 match, but there's only 2 tier 9s on each team, so it's pretty much a tier 8 match. And yeah, I mean, I had practice with this tank for a little bit, you know, figuring out the armor, the gun, you know, the weak points on it, everything like that. So anyway, yeah, the best place for this tank to go is going to be the city, because if I go out into, you know, the 8, 9, or 0 line and fight that, I'm going to be catching a lot of shots from a lot of different angles. Whereas in the city, I can pretty much keep the enemy to my front and, you know, hopefully bounce a lot of rounds. Or hopefully not get shot at very much, but when I do get shot at, bounce the rounds. So with how quick this tank is, as you can see, you can get up here quick, and the enemy has a Nameless as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is get up there and try to get the side of his turret. There we go. And as you can see, I'm keeping my tank slightly angled, and I'm using the rock as cover. And I'm trying to go for that commander's hatch because I know it's a weak point. You know, playing this tank, I've realized where I get shot at a lot. Of course, IS-3, we're going to go ahead and put a shot into him, back up. And even before most of my team gets up this way, as you can see, I'm already, you know, in a battle with 2 of these guys. Tried to do a quick snapshot there and didn't work. And there we go. See, if you're angled just enough, you can get shot in the tracks and get damaged as well. But I went ahead and switched to premium rounds now, and I'm going to, you know, fight this other Nameless face to face. I'm going to keep shooting his commander's hatch as he shoots past me to take out one of my friends, rather than focusing on me. Of course, I got a derpa shot every now and again, otherwise you guys might think I'm a good player. So yeah, when you're fighting a Nameless, you know, I would suggest going for the commander's hatch if you have to fight it frontally. It's large enough to where you can get some shots off. So yeah, here we are, just working this corner just fine. We're down by 2 tanks already. But as long as we can keep doing stuff like this, and look here, T-28 Proto, and I put my front towards him, and I bounced his shell there. And of course, the sides of his turret, as most people know, is a weak point for him. And I know he's got a longer reload than me, so I know I can get away with pulling out and putting another shot into him. And, you know, it's at this point I realized I've just been slinging premium pretty much the entire time. But I already got one loaded, so I'm going to try to get up here and snapshot him. And then I realized, you know, I should probably switch back to standard here in a minute. Or maybe I sling a couple more. Can't quite remember. Yep, there we go. So that Nameless is on just a shred of health. Got a mercy roll. And there we go. Now I switch back to my standard rounds. So yeah, I mean, I fired a lot of premium there. Probably 14, 15 rounds. But yeah, as long as you're in a position like this, I mean, you can do some damage. You don't want to try to expose your side too much. And I know a couple of these times I pull out, I mean, I'm exposing a little bit too much of my tank, like right there for the IS-3. But yeah, I mean, I've been having a lot of fun in this tank. So as you guys have noticed, the reload on this is very good. I've got it down to 7.77 seconds. That's with the gun rammer. And I believe I've got Brothers in Arms on this now. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I'm not running, you know, food and vents. You know, I'm not doing everything I can to increase the DPM on this. But anyway, yeah, the enemy's down to just 2 tanks remaining. And of course, this guy's just going to try to park behind me and block my side scraping. Because, you know, that's what dumbasses do. And there you go. Standard round can penetrate the hatch on an E75. So, you know, that's always good to know. Anyway, yeah, that's the end of that match. Did fairly well, held our side. You know, didn't let the enemy overrun us, and our team went around and flanked a lot of these guys. So anyway, yeah, on that match, even slinging a lot of premium rounds, about 15 rounds, we ended up making 100,000 silver, 6,430 experience, and we had 18 penetrations for 5,300 damage. We blocked almost 1,200 damage, and we assisted for 500 damage. And, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid tank. Here's the team stats for anybody who wants to see all of that. As you can see, you know, we were top of the leaderboard there on our team. And, yeah, we pretty much ran over the enemy. Our second match here is on the Abbey. And, it's a tier 8 match. I'm not a big fan of this map when it comes to heavy tanks like this, but being top tier, I mean, in a Nameless, you can pretty much bully the enemy team. So instead of going to the normal spot, to the 1-2 line and fighting in the mountains down there, I didn't want to go there because, you know, all the dips, depressions, and stuff like that, because the front gun depression on this is just horrendous. So I wanted to go to the left here and go down the 8 line, you know, get that scenic view of water, and, you know, see able to go pretty much anywhere you want to go on a map. And it's not hard to flex around the map and, you know, go help out in other places. You don't have to stay focused on only one side of the map. I am going to warn you guys ahead of time. I did get a little bit of tunnel vision on this. And then when I actually sat down to watch the replay, I just thought of myself as, you know, a massive scrub. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna pretty much drive up here until we detect an enemy, and then, you know, have a fight. There's only one tank going this direction up here. It's a tank destroyer. Maybe two, because the guy that's in B7, I don't know where he's going. And it looks like they didn't send anybody down this fight. No, nobody at all. And within a minute and a half, we're already on the opposite side of the map. So we're just going to slowly crest here. There we go. There's a bulldog there. We don't want to let him circle us. Well, we ended up hitting his track. He fixes and he drives into the water. And I don't have gun depression without exposing my side. If I expose my side to him, he's gonna, you know, take some hit points away. So I figured I would leave him for the tank destroyer that's behind me, or, you know, maybe he'll drown himself because there may not be a way to get up from him. But yeah, we spotted some targets. We're already getting some assistance. So I want to take out the artillery first because fuck artillery. Didn't aim in all the way. Was just trying to finish it quick. But we'll hit him there. And here's what I mean by tunnel vision. I got a tiger in front of me. We got a light tank in front of me. And I'm going to go ahead and fire at these guys when there's a medium and an artillery probably within 50 meters of me to my right. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fight these guys in the front and let them bounce off me and just do not pay any attention to the medium or the artillery. And now you can see the artillery's running, and that's when I see him. And because we hit artillery, we want to try to put around into him, but we don't. But there's an enemy huntsman. Go ahead and put around into him. IS-6, he's got a lot of armor with his rear to us, so of course we want to take advantage of that. Still don't see the medium to my right as I'm playing this. Don't take out that IS-6. And I don't know if that medium was just AFK or, you know, what the deal was. But I just left him be because I didn't notice him. And there we go. Now we're going to take this huntsman that, you know, put around into me. I was going to go down for the ram, but didn't need to. And yeah, as you can see, just flanking around that way, we were able to catch the enemy off guard. And yeah, put the hurt on these guys. So just try an auto-lock snapshot there on the tiger on the move. No success there. But we'll go ahead and put one more into him. And now I'm getting shot in the rear by that light tank that I left in the water. No big deal. We'll just pull up, take care of this tiger first. He's got a bigger gun. He's a bigger threat. But we'll take care of him. Now we'll turn to face the light tank. And I'm trying to cut off all his paths so he can't circle me, keep these rocks, you know. He does track me there. That's alright, because now he can't circle me because I'm backing up. It's and yeah, now we're just keeping it out. And as you can see, I'm just trying to get in front of him to where he can't move around too much, because his maneuverability is his strength. There we go, ammo rack. That's alright. Reverse side scrape. That's a good bounce. And then pull forward because of that tank destroyer, which is a Borsig up there that was firing down on. So yeah, I mean, this thing can brawl pretty good. You know, I'm loving this tank. So So down to the last enemy, we got 15 penetrations, 11 assisted ribbons, and 6 kills. So I got really greedy here and tried to go for the Devastator. And as you see, I don't see him right there, so I'm just going to go ahead and drive forward, you know, ignoring where my team is at. And hoping for a lucky bounce if he does shoot me. And unfortunately, he does not bounce. He pins me right away and finishes me off. And yeah, so we just wait a little bit, and the team pretty much goes up here and finishes this guy off. But yeah, other than that, I mean, this tank is it's a lot of fun. You know, going into a match, whether it's a tier 10 match or a tier 8 match, I mean, it don't matter. This thing is a lot of fun. I have balanced rounds from T1 10E5, from, you know, shoot, lots of tier 10s I've actually had them bounce off me. I bounced Jagdpanzer E100 once. I don't know if he just got an extremely low roll, but I did bounce around for him. From a Chieftain, E50, E50M. I mean, so the armor is reliable with a lot of vehicles. Anyway, at the end of that match, we ended up making 147,000 silver, 3,400 experience. We got 15 penetrations for 3,800 damage. We assisted for 2,800 damage and blocked 2,100 damage. And we ended up getting high caliber, top gun, and cool headed. And that was only a mastery badge 2nd class. So yeah, I mean, this tank, you get lots of medals in this tank. Sniper, top gun, high caliber. You name it. I haven't got Invader or Defender yet. But yeah, here's the team stats for anybody that wants to see that. It's only going to be up there sec, so if you want to go back, take a pause and look at it, that's perfectly fine. And then, yeah, as you can see, here's Abbey again. Started in the north again, and the only difference is this is a tier 9 match. So, like I said, this tank is reliable, even when you're not top tier. And again, what I wanted to do was go to the left over here, rather than take the fight to the 1-2 line, because of the gun depression issues and everything like that. I mean, even driving over stuff like this, I mean, you can see the gun's bouncing and I'm not even aimed low. So, it's pretty crazy. But once the gun's over the side, you do got that 5 degrees of gun depression. You know, it's not that bad. So of course, like I said, we're going to push over here. We're following an M103 and the light tank that's on our team. And we're going to see about getting some damage on some enemies over here if they push this side. So yeah, anyway, I noticed the light tank is only a tier 6. It's that VK. So he probably won't last long. But anyway, tried to shot on the move against the T20 up here. Didn't work, so we're just going to keep pushing and put our speed to work. And then also, you know, fight these guys that are up here. It looks like they got 3 of them up here, so going to back up and pretty much just try to hold this corner right here. Because if I can hold this corner, then, you know, my guys should have side shots on these guys, unless they press on me, and then in that case, you know, hopefully my armor will do its job. So as you can see, just poking up just a little bit, trying not to expose too much of my side armor, and getting some good shots on these guys. Of course, Ferdinand has some decent armor, so, you know, I might not penetrate a couple times on him. That's why I went ahead and switched to the premium rounds. There we go. Shot exactly where you're not supposed to shoot a Ferdinand. You know, because I am a scrub lord. Tried a second one. But I mean, as you can see, this tank it bounces some good rounds. You can bounce shots in this pretty much all day if you're angled right, or you only expose, you know, certain parts of your tank. So yeah, that guy pretty much gave up on shooting me, and he's aiming at the guy behind me now. That T10. Oh, but now that I pulled forward really far, he tried to shoot me again, or tried to aim at me, I should say. But yeah, we're just gonna keep pulling forward every 7.77 seconds and putting a round into it. And he got around behind the rock, but that's okay. We'll pull forward and finish him off. Switch to standard round. And don't need it because our teammate finished off that tiger. But we've already got 9 damage ribbons, 2 spots, 6 spotted target hits, 3 crits, and a kill. Our base is getting capped right now. And I noticed on the map that the M103 and the medium tank that were with me decided to push back. The scores are just about even, only 1 tank difference. And we don't have anybody in the middle of the map, so I decided to push forward to try to spot artillery, and, you know, sure enough, I spot him out. And one great thing about the engine power on this tank and how light it is for a heavy tank, you can climb, you know, hills like this, and you can kill Scrub Lord artillery players. And with the speed, you can get behind them without issue as well. And there we go, E50 shot me in the side, but that's no bother. We'll track him really quick. Bounce the round, like I said. Bounce, you know, rounds from E50, E50M. Try to go for his lower plate. And there we go. We did eat 1 round from him there. Well, technically 2 because on the drive up. Maybe even 3. But the fact is, you know, ended up taking out artillery and then taking him out. And yeah, now my team is up by 2 tanks. And looking at the map, it looks like 3 of the enemy tanks are backed by our flag. And then there's this VK right here. And I don't know where the 5th guy is. So we're going to try to get some side shots on this VK. Still got premium round loaded because I don't know which way he's angled or facing. And sure enough, we got his side. Switch back to standard round, and while we do that, he starts turning the turret towards us. But as soon as he starts looking away, we'll pop another shot into the side of him. And it looks like it's this guy, and then the last 3 guys are all up near our flag. And there's the gun depression. Like, you gotta pull forward and get a nice flat surface, or be going on a downhill to get gun depression on people. So, I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but once you learn it, it's not horrible. And there we go, we end up putting about 3 or 4 rounds into that VK and claiming that kill. So now we're going to go back to the base, and, you know, I don't want people to cap, so I'm going to just let them know, hey, let's defend the base, because I do like getting more damage out of game rather than, you know, capping out and being done. So I really want to, you know, hit this E75, reset the cap counter for our team. There we go, that way our team could possibly get off the cap, but it doesn't look like they're going to. But that's still some more damage for us, and we're on 5 kills with 18 hit markers. And the last guy was up here as well, so if we're quick enough, oh, and he's low health, if we're quick enough we can get up here and we can potentially get a top gun. And like I said, this machine, this Nameless tank, it just shits metals. So, of course, we're going to pull forward with no time left on the counter and finish him off and get a top gun. Because, you know, this thing just spews out metals like a goddamn machine. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Anyway, 19 penetrations, just 11 points shy of hitting 5,000 damage. We made 100,000 silver, well, just shy of 100,000. 3,500 experience. We assisted for 1,400, and we blocked 2,000. And again, Mastery Badge 2nd class, high caliber, and a top gun. So I mean, this thing's just like, it's like a slot machine. You pull the lever, get a bunch of medals. Anyway, here's the team stats for anybody that wants to see all of that stuff. And since I was late, you know, doing this video, I decided to throw in one more video on this, make it a little bit longer, that way you guys can see some extra gameplay of it. So a total of 4 matches, and this one is on Muravanka, the winter variant of this map. And yeah, I mean, what more can be said? It's a tier 8 match, as you guys can see there. And I'm going to go over to the 1-2 line and fight over there. You know, again, because of gun depression, and if you go to the 890 line, there's a lot of hills and stuff. So first things first, run over that building, just in case they want to get on the cap. You know, we don't need anything blocking shots to get cap reset. I run over that building every time I get this map and start on this side. But yeah, we're pretty much just gonna use our speed. We're gonna get up here to this corner, you know, very quickly, and get some shots off on these guys. And there's the gun depression fail again. As you can see, it's just very hard over the front. Anyway, J Panther, try to shoot on the move so we can get behind cover. We've got 4 friendly heavies behind us at the corner behind us, so I decided to push up 1 extra, just to try to get up here and get some damage off. You know, get some spots, get some assisted damage, you know, the whole 9 yards. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to commentate, you know, all of it during this match. What I am going to talk about, however, is I've got a lot of people telling me how this tank is just overpowered, underpowered. You know, people can't make up their minds. You know, I don't think this tank is overpowered, because if you can get around behind this thing or to its side, I mean, you can have tier 6s just penetrate you so easy in the sides and back. And I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, this is a good heavy tank, a very, very good heavy tank, as long as you keep it faced frontally. And, you know, in situations like I am right now, you can keep your side open, because you can put it behind a hill or something, and you can use the gun depression and fire over. And this tank is tall. It's just as tall as an E75, almost as tall as an E100. So it's got a very large profile. The sides of the turret on this, you know, if you can get a side shot on this turret, you're going to penetrate just about every time in any tier 7 or above vehicle. So it's not overpowered, it's not underpowered. I wouldn't say it's just right. You know, I kind of wish the gun depression wasn't so horrible over the front. I know every tank has to have its flaws. Otherwise there would be one perfect tank out there, everybody would have it, and, you know, it'd be the only thing getting played. But yeah, I mean, this thing, it's nice. So there we go, trying to take out a shitlord, of course. I don't mind taking a couple shots at us to get artillery out of the match. But yeah, I mean, I think if you take away some of the mobility on this tank, and, you know, give it just even 1 extra degree of gun depression over the front, I think it would be better. And as you see there, I got shot in the front, like I was mentioning earlier, but my engine got taken out. So I do believe there's something up in the front of the hull, whether it be transmission, whatever. There's got to be something that just was not in the profile when you're looking at all your parts of the tank, that it just didn't show. So whether it be a small part of the engine up there, transmission, something, even getting shot and pinned in the front, your engine gets taken out. And I mean, I've had that happen more than enough. So, yeah, do I like this tank? I love this tank. I've already got 1 mark of excellence on this tank, and I've played probably 60 battles in it since I got it. And for me, that's actually a lot because it didn't come out too long ago. It's been out about a week and a half now, and I've got, you know, almost, let's just say almost 100 battles played in it. And with my work schedule and, you know, how things have been this week for me at home, you know, just being busy, unable to do this video by Monday, you know, I mean, I've still gotten time to do almost 100 battles in this. So that just shows you, yes, I very much like this tank. So, yeah, anyway, as you can see, our team is pretty even with the enemy team. You know, scores 9-8. We got a medium tank off by himself. He may not last a lot longer. Take out one of their top tier heavy tanks. And of course this Panther's going to try to rush me, so keep the front towards him, but he's firing premium, so he goes through me no problem. But he was a one shot as well, so we'll finish him. And now that our teammate has pushed past that Japanese heavy that I was aimed at a moment ago, there's a Valkyria IS-5 left, a light tank, and I don't remember what the other tank was. It looks like a Tiger II, which is behind us. So I'm going to go ahead and go face off with that Tiger II. If he loads premium rounds, he'll go through my front, no problem. But we're going to go ahead and pull forward, shoot him, and then pull forward some more, and just keep advancing towards him. I'm going to let those guys deal with the Glory IS-5. And of course, T-37, I'm going to get sidetracked and take him out because late game light tanks are a pain in the ass. So keep my armor to the front, of course. And then he gets around behind me. Take a shot from the Tiger. Well, Tiger II. Got the T-37 in front of me again. Missed a snapshot. He takes his own tracks off by Nameless, which is amazing because that gives us, you know, the top gun. And then, of course, Tiger II puts a premium round right through our front and, you know, kills us. And the only reason I know that he fired a premium round right there is because he didn't aim at any type of weak spot whatsoever. But anyway, till next time, fellow tankers, you guys go out there and kill some shit. I hope to see you guys on the battlefield. Don't forget, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I will be doing the Edelweiss video here in about a day or two. I'm currently working on putting it together as well. Still trying to get a little bit more footage. Other than that, I hope you guys really enjoy this and, you know, are looking forward to me putting a video for the Edelweiss together. Yeah. So, we'll see you next time, fellow tankers.